Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today I'm really excited because we're taking a look at a new budget knife offering. This is the Damn Designs Cerberus. I'm a big fan of this knife. I bet you guys can immediately tell why, if you know this channel. So anyways, let's just go ahead and jump right in with our blade length measurements and size comparisons and all that good stuff. So, blade length. Closest spot on the handle. It's under 3.5, just a little bit above 3.25. So yeah, cutting edge. If you measure, down here, obviously, pretty much the same, except for, of course, the belly. You get a little bit more there, but yeah, nice size, nice size. Let's go ahead and do our size comparisons. First of all, we're at 1, or that's the 2. Gosh dang it. One of these days I'll get it right, guys. And there's the rat 1. So yeah, this knife, not as long as the rat 1, but definitely very chunky. So, good deal there. Let's go ahead and bring out our Civivis. The Praxis. Pretty similar in chunkiness. This guy's actually even a little bit chunkier than the Praxis. Not quite as long. The Elementum. Yep, the Cerberus dwarfs it in just about every way. Let's bring out our Flagship Comparisons. Where did they go? Well, there's my PM2. PM2. There's my bug out. My Benchmade bug out. So yeah, again, PM2 is longer, not quite as chunky, lots more sharpened blade on the Cerberus, which isn't hard to beat the PM2 with sharpened blade. We are bigger than the bug out in every way, so yeah. Next, let's compare it against, what should we compare against? Well, let's compare against some favorite clip points of mine. Here is the Tucson 301. And here is the Cold Steel Code 4. All right, good deal. Ugh, that Tucson needs cleaned up one of these days. Okay, so what are we looking at here as far as materials go? So we're looking at a clip point D2 blade, satin finished, steel liner lock, steel clip, G10 scales, countersunk liners, ceramic ball bearings. Pretty straightforward. Pretty cool knife. Let's go ahead and go do some, or, well, I've already done the cut footage, but I'll go ahead and show it right now. Alrighty, Damn Designs Cerberus. Let's see the cutting power of this knife. Don't want to show off any information. I really need to start sharpening out all those, and sometimes I just forget. Yeah, it's super slicey. This knife is about 15 thousandths behind the edge. Very, very nice. Came really nicely sharpened. This steel, when I sharpened this D2, is sharpened really nicely, and it's been holding a good edge. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Yeah, it cuts like nothing. So clip point blade D2, something that you get with clip points, especially clip points like this, is a whole lot of slicing power and a nice tip, a very acute tip, good for all kinds of different piercing tasks, and that's why I like clip points. How are the ergos on this knife? Really good. This is a chunky, kind of blocky looking knife, but man, it just feels good in the hand. It feels very, very solid. Feels like you've got a good grip. I'm not going to say this knife is like uber comfortable or anything, but that cardboard out of here. But it works in the hand. A little bit of a hot spot off the clip, but that's to kind of be expected with clips that are deep carry. With gloves on, I took this knife to work a lot with gloves on. Feels really great. How's the action? It's a good action. I feel like the flipper tab could have been done a little bit better if it had been moved up, but you know what? It's good action. Really good action. I was very impressed when I took this guy apart. Very well built. Very, very solid knife. Nice big stop pin. Nice bearings. Just really, really simple. Throw up some images of that just so you guys can kind of see. How's it carry? This is one of the deepest carry knives in my collection. The clip sticks out further than the handle of the knife. And so in the pocket, it goes all the way down. There's nothing but clip. Nothing. Struggling right there a little bit, but the clip works good. Goes in and out of the pocket just fine. It's, again, deep carry. Climbs over. Sometimes it struggles a little bit, as you can see right there. Sometimes it struggles to get up over your pant material, but most of the time it works. The clip itself is a very sturdy clip. I like that. The screws do not get in the way. We'll talk about that more at the table. And the clip itself is pretty nice. It's got the good spring to it. It's recessed into the scale so you don't get any clip wiggle. You guys know me. I'm always a big fan of that. So, yeah. Just a really, really cool knife, especially for the price. Just absolutely excellent. Let's go to the table and talk about it. Alright, so let's talk about what I like and don't like about the Damn Designs Cerberus. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, there's a lot that I like and not a whole lot that I don't. So, let's jump right into it. And the first thing I like is that this knife is just a worker. This is a workhorse of a pocket knife, and I appreciate that so much. It's a beefy folder. Even though the liners are countersunk, usually that thins up a knife quite a bit. These G10 scales aren't so much contoured as chamfered in really unique ways to just fill your hand out. Plus, it's really tall in the handle. So we'll get into more of that later, but this knife feels just beastly. The blade is pretty stout. We'll compare it to the Rat 1. What we can see here is, yeah, it's a stout blade. It has a really, really stout blade. And this knife just, if I had to sum this knife up in one word, it would be beefy. Because that's exactly what this is. It's just a beefy folder. I took this to work with me in the woods. When I first got this knife, man, it was hard for me to put it down for review, to review anything else. I was just carrying this knife so much. And you can look back in past videos. I did clean up the blade for this video. I did clean this knife up, took them apart and everything. We'll show pictures of that later. There's still some scratches and stuff. You can see there's damage on my G10 in different places, some scratches and dings, but yeah, I did not baby this knife at all. Didn't get any footage of me using it at work in the woods, but I guess I should say this more, but if you're ever curious about the whoops, my bad. If you're ever curious about the knives that I have coming up for review, or my new acquisitions, or me using my knives in real life, go ahead and check out my Instagram at Gideon Stuff. I post on there all the time about using my knives and new stuff I get, and just kind of different odds and ends about my life and hobbies. So yeah, definitely check that out. But anyways, a workhorse of a knife. So let's get into what makes it so much of a workhorse. Let's start with this blade. Guys, I love clip points. I love buoys. And this is just a sexy blade. I mean, I guess we can say that right now. I love the way this knife looks, but man, that blade is just so sexy. Gosh, I love that. The Damn Designs logo there, it's like these two ram horns with blades underneath. Really cool. It says D2 over here. Minimal marking on the blade. That's really, really nice. Plunge grind is okay. Sharpening choil's pretty good. You get a lot of blade length, or you get a lot of cutting edge for your blade length. I do love clip points. Just clip points are phenomenal slicers. You know, you get a fine tip here, especially considering how thick the rest of the blade is. Very fine tip. That's something I always appreciate about clip points, is you can get, you know, nice pokey stuff done. It's just such a nice blade. Like 15 thousandths behind the edge, slicing like a dream. But again, thick enough that I didn't really worry about it too much. I was able to just put this knife through its paces. You see the grind here, it's a almost full flat grind. You have this wedge here. Just lots going on there with the blade. I'm a big fan. Big fan. Next, the handle is great. It is great. I love the way this is shaped. Kind of a pistol shape to the grip. It just locks your hand in. I mean, this is very ergonomic. You are locked in. The jimping up here on the blade is so nice. It's exactly where it needs to be. It's that nice, fine, file-like jimping that I love. My thumb just grabs it so good. Like right now, holding this knife, I just want to go and find something to cut. In fact, there's a tree right outside my window right now. I just want to go out there and whittle some branches. This knife it was made to be used. You know, the way they did the contour on this handle is really unique. It almost I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm studying geology, and the way they did this chamfering here almost reminds me of like the kind of rock cleavage or crystal plains. You have very distinct areas where it was kind of chamfered, and you've got like kind of I guess a conchoidal fracture is what that would be there. But it looks really nice, and I like it. And this G10 is pretty good too. It comes in this blue. There's a bunch of other colors. It really does remind me of the CJRB feldspar I have, although this is much more not polished, but it's smoother. And this is kind of like that same G10 with kind of the Civivi stippling. I do not like Civivi's G10, but I like this stuff. It feels good. Backspacer is really nice. I like backspacers quite a bit, as you guys know. So yeah, that's cool. Great handle on ergos. That's what I'm trying to say. Next, the action is so snappy. It's a great action. It is on bearings. Really, really nice. Good action. It is possible to fail it sometimes. The flipper tab is shaped good. It gives you a good area to come in here for leverage. You can kind of push button it if you get it just right. It's not real easy. It's a much better light switch. It is a little bit small, but when it's open, it makes complete sense. So I'm not going to rag on that. Access to the liner is excellent. See that? The liners are inset, which I love. It just makes the knife feel really, really good. Really great. The pocket clip is awesome. It's not a hot spot on the hand because it's kind of fatter. You can see here that it ramps up, but this little ramp actually does not come above this part of the clip. So it's not poking you in the hand. It just sits there in your hand really nice. This is one of the deepest pocket clips in my collection. It sticks out past the handle. Oh, and by the way, fit and finish on this guy was good out of the box. Perfectly centered. Again, I did disassemble this already. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But yeah, really, really deep carry. And at first, I didn't think I'd like that. But you know what? It's not bad. The clip itself is really good. It's a very sturdy clip. And I like what they did with the screws here. So As you can see, the screws are not flat. They're not flat screws, but the clip and the screws are sunk into the scale, so that the top of the screws is pretty much in line with the surface of the scale, because this clip is countersunk in there really deeply, and I think that's awesome. Flip it over to the other side. Yeah, this is a reversible clip. You can take out this tab and flip it over. While we're on the subject of that, let's talk about disassembling this knife. The knife disassembled really well. I'll throw up some pictures of it disassembled. One thing I like about this knife is that it's easy to disassemble. You have the pivot screw, and then there's really just one screw holding the rest of the knife together. So very simple, easy to do. These are T6s back here. I've forgotten. These are T6s. I like this pivot here. That just looks nice. It's different. You know, I like it when things look different, when they're unique, when they stand out. And that definitely does. So yeah, disassembly is really, really easy. The pocket clip, in particular, impressed me when I was putting this knife together because getting the pocket clip back in where it's supposed to go, it really snaps in there. And yeah, even without the screws in there, the pocket clip snaps in there really good. Something I forgot to mention, when a clip is recessed, no clip wiggle. I like that. The clip works great in and out of the pocket. It's a very sturdy clip. Again, something I appreciate about clips is when they're sturdy. Because again, for me, I work out in the woods a lot. So when I'm out in the woods, if a branch snags my pocket clip, I don't want that pocket clip to break off. And also I want the pocket clip to hold onto my pants enough so that if the tree starts to kind of pull the knife out of my pocket, I have more of a chance of noticing. So that's great. And where else to go? Jeez, I don't even know. This knife is just really excellent. Let's go ahead and hop into what I don't like. And guys, it's going to be quick. I think the lanyard hole would have been better in the backspacer. I just think it would have been. And the flipper tab, sometimes when you're not thinking about it, you can not really miss a flip, but miss the flipper tab because it's a little bit small. And it's kind of positioned in a little bit of a weird place, in my opinion. But, you know, it does work if you're paying attention and you get it. It works really well. The other thing, the jimping here on this lock bar is really aggressive, actually. And I was noticing a couple of times if I was like really bearing down on a cut, the rest of the knife was very comfortable. But yeah, in fact, you can see there when I was squeezing it really hard, this can be a little bit aggressive, just a little bit. But again, most of the time when I'm really bearing down on a cut, I'm wearing gloves. If I'm working that hard, I'm usually wearing gloves. So, not a big deal. And yeah, that's really all the complaints I have. Let's go ahead and go on to the final conclusions. Alright, so what are my final conclusions on the Dam Design Cerberus? Guys, it's awesome. You know, this is, in a lot of ways, this is the budget knife that I have always wanted. Because this is exactly my style. It's a harder use knife. It's a clip point. It comes in a blue version. It's really nice. The build quality is excellent. I love the name, by the way, Cerberus. Love the name. The build quality is excellent. They give you so many nice details. Like, I think this pocket clip is so interesting to me. The way they did this. These nice, big, thick screws here. But, you know, they don't come above the scale. And I think that's a really neat way to do a pocket clip that's unobtrusive in and out of the pocket. I love filler tabs. I love this because you get a reversible pocket clip without really compromising the looks of the knife. Like I think this looks good. I don't mind filler tabs at all. And this knife is just, yeah, it's so solidly built. And the price, how much did I pay for this? $45. Honestly, I mean, what other knife do I have laying around here that's about $45? Here we go. So you practice is $42. This knife, the Cerberus, is 5 times the knife the Praxis is. I'll be honest, especially when it comes to just a hard-working knife. The Praxis is a good knife. I like the Praxis. It's comfortable. It's got a nice blade. It's a good workhorse. But this is better. This is just better. And this knife is never leaving my collection. It's an amazing knife, and I've seen other designs from Damn Designs that look absolutely stunning, and I need to get my hands on them. But for now, the Cerberus is a 100% strong recommendation from me. This is an amazing workhorse of a budget knife. Honestly, I mean, gosh. You know, for a long time, one of my favorite budget knives was the Feldspar by CJRB. And it still is. But this knife might be my favorite. Yeah, I think this knife is currently my favorite sub $50 knife. This is an amazing knife. Great value. Just absolutely phenomenal build quality, performance. It's a great knife. It's a great knife. I can't say anything else than that. It's a great knife. Do yourself a favor and get yourself. Do yourself a favor and get one. Blah blah blah. I'm so excited. I'm stumbling over my words. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like, comment down below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.